Today we're discussing the GRETSCH G5230T Electromatic Jet. Hey, James G here with Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. You can find us at tarpleymusic.com. Please subscribe to the channel below if you have not done already. So the GRETSCH Electromatic Jet. It's been a model for over 60 years, and there's a very classic jet tone that you really think of when you hear these things. A lot of surf rock, and a lot of those styles, rockabilly. And the reason is that this is a mahogany body, but unlike a solid body, that's one piece of solid wood, this is chambered, so it actually has some chambering and some open spots in it, and then a maple cap on top, so you can get in an acoustic tone kind of breathing out of that with electrotone, so it's a very kind of a hollowish, nice tone, and it's wonderful for a lot of those styles, but honestly, it's very versatile. You can really rock out with these as well as do jazz or anything else. So this is a mahogany neck. It is a 12-inch radius, so there's a lot of playing room. It's great for sustain of notes and bending. If you get a neck that's really got a much more curve to it, sometimes those notes will choke out, even though it's really, really great for chord shape. So there's a reason there's so many different types of neck radiuses and stuff, but this is a 12, which for this instrument I think makes perfect sense. It's 22 medium jumbo frets. And of course we have on the body, we've got the Bigsby B50 vibrato tremolo system. So this is actually the original. The Bigsby was the first one to be able to do that. So there's a little miscommunication on the terminology itself, and you call it what you call it, and that's fine, but just from an educational standpoint. So tremolo is actually volume going in and out. Okay, as vibrato is the pitch being pushed up and down. So really, it's a vibrato system that you're hearing because it's pushing and pulling. So a lot of people call it a trem, but a tremolo is actually if you hear time go in and out. And it could be any speed. But it's a really cool effect. You hear tremolo a lot in it, but that's just kind of a clarification of those two terms. So people say, oh, it's a trem bar or whatever. Don't correct them. It's cool. It's a trem bar, but that's really what those two different words mean. So the electronic setup on this is really, really cool. So you still just have your three-way switch for your neck, both pickups and then bridge for your treble rhythm. But what's a little different in the GRETSCH is they actually have their master volume is right here, which is really great because you can literally, while you're strumming, you got that knob right there. But this master knob also has a treble bleed. So what a treble bleed is in a lot of guitars, you might tone the volume off a little bit, and you'll actually hear a lot of that high tone go with the volume. So what a treble bleed does is it keeps that treble basically there. So you can drop your volume down a little bit, but your tone hasn't really been altered very much. So someone who's really working a lot with their volume in real time while playing, it's in a great location to hit it real quick, and you get that treble bleed. So you're really just pulling your volume out, not changing your tone too much. And then you have a master tone. So this tone is rolling your highs off both pickups, basically. And then each pickup has its own volume, so you can really mix and match a lot of different kinds of tones and then just switch between them in your three. So that's one of the things I've always loved about these GRETSCH is that volume right there, because you can really do a lot of great swells and things like that. It's just a really great instrument. So the pickups themselves, these are the Filtertrons. Literally, they were made to filter out bad noise, right? So they are a type of humbucker, but you do get some things normally associated with single coil pickups in the sense of that dynamic range and clarity, but you do get the full bodiness and that hum capability for the humbuckers. So to me, it's just a really versatile but glassy kind of a pickup sound. It's so hard to describe sound sometimes with words, but that's kind of what I think of as just this overall kind of a glassy. So it's just a gorgeous instrument. So many great clean tones that you can get out of this. And we're going to do a lot of the clean tones so you can hear those. But like I said, you can definitely kick this thing into overdrive and do a lot of punch with it too. But we're going to show its clean side of different pickups, kind of a little bit of the treble bleed and then some tonal differences here. And I just think you'll love how this sounds. The last thing on the look of the guitar, they kept it very vintagey. You've got your thumbnail inlays right here, which is really cool. It has binding for the maple cap, but it actually has puffling as well. And the puffling is, the binding is literally there to help keep it together as far as the cool look. The puffling is just purely cosmetic, but it really gives this extra kind of look to the binding itself. And it's just totally vintage vibe. They kept, there's actually closed tuning machines on the back end and stuff. So it's just really killer machine. So let's hear it. Let's hear it in a couple different ways and a couple different setups, and we'll go from there. So now how I have it here is this is in the treble position or the bridge pickup position. And master volume is all the way up, tone mount is all the way. And then remember that each pickup has its own volume here, so that one volume will take, well, this is the overall volume, so don't get those confused. So. So I really like to demonstrate the treble bleed on this because it's your treble pickup. So I'm going to back off that volume now, and you're still going to hear that treble bleed. You're going to hear a lot of that punchy biteness still from the treble. Really effective. So here's at full. I'm going to take down. That's right before the sound completely shuts off, and you still hear that treble punching through. So it's really, really cool. It's something I discovered probably in the last several years of like, wow, that's important. Because I don't have any guitars that have that treble bleed. So now we're going to go to the middle position. This is both our neck and our bridge. And now both of these, of course, they have their own volume. So both of these volumes would affect it as well. So everything's back to normal. Same thing here if we roll off. You still hear that treble going on. So here, now this is our rhythm position. This is our neck pickup only, so tend to be used a lot for more rhythm playing. It's a little fuller MIDI sound and not so much the top end there. So very simple chord progression so you can really hear those tonal differences. Now what I haven't done yet is I've got separate volumes here, a tone that will roll the highs off. So for instance, if I'm in the middle position, I got both pickups going here. Well, I want a little bit more of the treble than so I can turn down this pickup just a little bit. Still a little bright. I'm rolling off the highs now. I haven't even moved positions. So there's a lot of tonal capabilities going here, and these are really good potentiometers or pots where I can put it there and it'll stay. It's not going to be real loose, and so I feel like I can really hold those pots there and so give you an idea of the tonal thing that this can be. And of course, the final thing is the Bigsby. Down, pulling sharp as well. So. Right, so it's a really nice, clean vibrato, but it's not massive like this, so it just gives a little bit of shimmer there. So, but most of the styles that this plays, that's what you want. Now, to hear the versatility of these clean tones, I'm just going to kind of play some different chord riffs and single note riffs and stuff like that in different positions, so you can kind of get a feel, an uninterrupted feel of how that tone can change. As you can hear, a lot of different things going out just while I'm playing uninterrupted. That's without even messing with the tone knobs. So as I said before, I love the clean tones that come out of a Electromatic Jet. But you can definitely dirty it up, and you can get a lot of good overdriven and distorted tones too. So I'm going through a Boss Blues Driver BD2, very famous pedal, right? And going right into the same amp, the whole thing's the same. So I've got it in middle position. This is both of our pickups here, and since these are humbuckers, you can get a lot of gain and output out of it because you're not going to get the howl and screeching of like a single coil does. And so here's a middle position, some rhythm. So great thick sound. So move into some leads. I can get into the treble pickup here, and you can definitely hear a lot of great harmonics coming out. So very versatile, handles overdrive and distortion very, very well. And so here's just your rhythm pickup. So that's just using just a blues driver, right? Got all your overdrives and distortions out there. Not to mention that you can still tone your volume down and get that treble bleed. So very versatile, clean or dirty. So I've always loved GRETSCH guitars. It's such a unique sound. If you want to get, Electromatic Jet, like a Jet type of guitar sound, get a Jet, right? And so is it the end-all be-all to solve all your guitar problems and all your tones? Maybe not, even though it is versatile. But it really is that particular sound with the chambering and the maple cap. And I just love them. They also, they make killer drums. They make great lap steels. And so, all at the same time, still bringing back a lot of just vintage vibe. This is actually a Firebird red. You can get black, Cadillac green. There's a blue and then a silver. And they're all really kind of vintagey, cool colors. So, it's one that I definitely want in my collection, as I want some sort of a Jet. But until then, fortunately, I work here and I can play one whenever I want. So, however, you can too. So, come on up to Tarpley if you're interested in that kind of sound. There are a few other GRETSCH models as well. This is the one I would say pick up first, just because single cut and it feels really good, and it's still got a little bit of that sound. And after watching this video, you kind of understand how electronics work. It's just a lot of fun. It has such killer clean tones. Like I said, you can throw overdrive, and you can definitely kick it in overdrive as well. It will do that, but I really love it for its clean tones. And so anyway, if you learned something, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel below if you have not done already. And if you want to keep watching videos as they drop, then just turn on notifications. We will see you on the next one.